of company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, residents of Tower Hill complain of water shortage. Area Representative Kevin Bernard addresses the concerns. A father and son from Copperbank Village, Corozal, charged for fishery offenses. Could the people of Colette be facing a by-election? And the fishermen get ready for the Sarteneja Seafood Festival. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, October 12th, 2023.
That'll be $50. Thank you. Wait, hey, this 50 is a fake.
How do you know it's a fake?
What are you talking about, sir? How can I identify a genuine note from a fake note?
Well, a genuine 50 has a watermark with the jaguar and the written words of the 50, also a thread.
Know your money and know a fake one when you see it. Do not rely on any one security feature. Look for the clarity and quality of printing. The printed lines and colors should be sharp and clear. Feel the quality of the paper and the raised print. Hold the note up to the light to see the windowed security thread. It should form one complete line when held up to the light. The watermark and denominational electrotype. The Jaguar is the watermark in the $100 and $50 notes. The Sleeping Giant is the watermark in the $20, $10, $5, and $2 notes. The see-through feature. The parts of the design printed on the back should fit exactly within the unprinted areas of the front to form the complete design. Check the $100 note for the toucan hologram with the periwinkle flower overprint. Tilt it to see the small images of the toucan and the numeral 100. Check the $50 note for the green foil angelfish. Check even closer. Use an ultraviolet light to see the fluorescent features. Use a magnifier to see the microlettering. Tiny letters that read Central Bank of Belize and the value of the note. Stop the circulation of counterfeit Belize currency notes. Pass all counterfeits to the police at once. It is a criminal offense to hold or use a counterfeit. Be safe, be sure, know your money.
Movies are dreams. That you never forget.
The lights change how everything looks. It's hard to find our house.
Ours is the dark house with no lights.
In this family, it's the scientists versus the artists.
What kind of movie are we gonna make?
You stop making movies, it'll break your mother's heart. I don't know what to do anymore.
You do what your heart says you have to. What was your favorite part?
Jonas, we need your help. We're detecting increased aquatic activity 25,000 feet deep in the trench. It's an ancient ecosystem untouched by man. Whatever is down there is trying to make its way to the surface.
This was a bad idea.
Just a little bit.
Jonas, we've got company.
That's the biggest meg I've ever seen.
Biggest meg anyone's ever seen.
That's the apex predator.
Everybody make it to the station! You can make it! Keep going!
3 massive megs and who knows what else have escaped the breach.
I just hope it goes better than last time.
What happened last time?
You don't want to know.
This ain't the end. I saw you again.
Go, go, go! We've never seen this before. They hunted in packs.
We can relax. This place, Meg-proof. I mean, Jonas was always afraid of this, but I was also thinking...
Good evening. Wicked News also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. For the past days, our newsroom has received complaints from residents of Tower Hill Village in the Orange Walk district about a fault in their water system. According to the complaints, residents only have access to water for a few hours, and that has been the issue for weeks. Today, when we spoke to Minister of Health and Wellness and Area Representative for Orange Walk East, Kevin Bernard, he told us the issue is already being addressed. According to him, what has compounded the problem is that Carmelita, which provides water to Tower Hill, is growing at a fast pace, and the current water system has reached its capacity.
First of all, Tower Hill does not have its own water rudimentary system. And so they depend on water supply that is all the way in Carmelita. So the Carmelita community, as you know, is growing rapidly and expanding. And as people are connecting to that rudimentary water system, it creates more of an issue for the residents of Tower Hill, who also depends on that same system. And so there's two things that are happening right now as we speak. The Ministry of Rural Transformation had gone in to do an assessment for both Carmelita and Tower Hill, because I have expressed the concern that has been raised to me by residents and the chairpersons of the villages, respective villages, in terms of how can we find solutions. Now, in terms of Tower Hill, let me touch Tower Hill first. What the ministry has done is identified and have dug a well in Tower Hill. They have identified a water source. And so they have dug the well, they have sealed that, contained that well, and for the interim part, they are going to be putting in a hand pump. Now, I understand that today, if not today, tomorrow, the Ministry of Rural Transformation will be on its way to install two 10,000 gallons rotoplas in the village, just for persons to have access to potable water. And they will also send their bowser up so that they could supply water to the residents of Tower Hill.
And true to his word, this afternoon, gallons upon gallons of water arrived in the village. And while the Ministry of Rural Transformation will be placing the rotoplas tanks in a strategic location so that residents can have access to a certain amount of water, especially for drinking. This is just a temporary solution, says Bernard.
We are going to construct a water system for Tower Hill. Those will be placed on a high-rise platform with about 3 or 4, I think 4 huge rotoplas that will be the reservoir for the water, and then that will be connected to the well, and then the Tower Hill residents will be connected to that specific system and not have to depend on the Carmelita system, which is already strained and has a problem because in Carmelita itself, there's also a water issue. So for Tower Hill, that's the solution we are trying to find in the immediate, and then the long-term solution is to get their own system up. Now, I have gone further because Rural Development Transformation is going to do that for us, but I've gone further and written to the chair of Social Investment Fund. As you know, through SIF, they do provide these systems and support for rural communities. And so it falls in line with our requests. And so I did write an urgent letter to this morning, actually. I spoke to the CEO in the Ministry of Finance at the Office of the Prime Minister, who is also the chair for the Social Investment Fund, Mrs. Garcia. And so it is in that light that I have expressed in the letter the need for two things: for them to assist, find ways how they could assist us in getting that new water system for Tower Hill done, and for them to assist us with the construction of a second system in Carmelita, because as I tell you, there's a new expansion area in Carmelita where, you know, people have gotten their land and so forth, and people are now starting to try and build their homes and move in there. I am at the same time trying to look at options, because at the end of the day, I believe that while the rudimentary water system works fine, it has its challenges, it has its issues. And we encourage people who are connected to this to pay a water bill, because that's how the water board are able to then maintain and keep up to date these equipments so that water can be steady and cleansed at all times.
As for the village of Carmelita, the plan is to expand its current water system.
There's two areas in Carmelita. There's an area called the Spanish Town, and then there's the central Carmelita, and then there's the other expansion area. And then there's the new subdivision in Carmelita. So all these areas, people are now living. As people get their land, they're starting to move in, they're building their homes, and they need access to water. And as part of committing and fulfilling our sustainable development goals, making sure that people have access to potable drinking water, it is a must for us to address this problem.
As mentioned by the minister, he is working with the Ministry of Rural Transformation to improve the water system for both villages. A father and son from Copperbank Village in Corozal are out on bail after being charged with fisheries offenses. Irma Roberto Correa, at 45, and Jose Armando Correa, 22, appeared in court unrepresented and were each charged with fishing within a special zone and obstruction. The men were allegedly found in a canoe within the Turnif Atoll Marine Reserve on October 4th, abandoning fisheries products to avoid seizure and detection of an offense. They were reportedly found in possession of 76 in-shell counts. The men, however, pleaded not guilty and intend to challenge the allegation. They were granted bail in the sum of $2,000 each, plus one surety of the same, which they were able to meet. If the words of the opposition leader, Honorable Shine Barrow, are to be considered, Belizeans can soon expect a by-election to take place in the Colette constituency. This comes as Barrow contends that Patrick Faber has crossed the floor, and for that, as leader of the opposition, he wants to call a by-election. The brewing troubles within the opposition started with a meeting of the Constitution and Foreign Affairs House Committee on Wednesday to consider the conduct of Shine Barrow regarding an insulting email he wrote to the Speaker of the House, Valerie Woods, back in August. Now, while Barrow has expressed no remorse over the email in which he accuses the Speaker of being biased and a waste of time, he had also claimed to have the support of the members of the opposition side of the House. During yesterday's meeting, however, a letter sent by Faber to the chair of the committee, Julius Espat, was presented where he distances himself from Barrow's email, disavowing his comments and expressing support for the Speaker. Though Faber has made no indication that he has in fact crossed the floor, his party leader says the actions taken can only conclude that he has in fact joined the PUP.
He has crossed the floor, so we will deal with him in a manner that the Constitution says clearly that when a member of the opposition votes with the government, that they have crossed the floor and they have forfeited their seat. So that is what I will say about that. We all know how that gentleman has behaved in the past, and this is consistent with his behavior in the past. And without going into any more details, that behavior was dealt with as far as him losing the ability to run for the party. He was given a second chance, and this is what he does now. But the difference between this and then is he has now violated the Constitution because he has voted with the government, and that is a violation of the Constitution. That means that you forfeit your seat as an opposition member, and there has to be a by-election in Colette.
The opposition leader has 7 days to write to the Speaker of the House informing her about the crossing of the floor to make it official. While we await to see if that will materialize, government ministers today weighed in on this latest UDP dilemma. Though the ministers decided to keep their comments brief, they all agreed that the situation is less than ideal for the already embattled UDP.
The standing orders is quite simple. It allows you to do many things, and all you have to do is say mea culpa. I apologize, Madam Speaker, and it's done dead right there, and you move on. I've done it countless of times. The problem with me is I never accept my apologies. You know that. But it is what it is. You're dealing with a dictatorial style of governance compared to our side, which is a democratic style of governance. But I see the UDP, they're looking at how we handle things democratically, and they're now opening up and voicing their opinion. Which style do you prefer?
Over the years, we've looked at this thing, and there's no right or wrong answer. I imagine something like this will end up in the courts for sure. I don't pay enough attention to these guys, man. I really don't. I'm just really, really, really busy. From afar, it seems like comedy, seems entertaining, seems downright insane many times, you know, and this latest flare-up seems like it falls in the latter category, kind of insane, like, you know, I don't know, man. I try to stay away from these people's politics.
As a young parliamentarian myself, I think the leader of the opposition is utterly wrong. It is smack of disrespect for him to even go back after the meeting was held to even say that he will not apologize, to even say that he continued to call out the speaker in a very disrespectful manner. I think the Belizean people need to take a hard look at who the leader of the opposition is and really say the truth. This man is bad for Belize. God forbid he ever becomes the prime minister of this country, which I'm pretty sure he won't even get there. But at the end of the day, I think that the leader of the opposition needs to apologize to the speaker. There are ways and means of how you can address issues or concerns that you are aggrieved by as individual parliamentarians. We all have that right, but there's ways how to do so. And the way he went on in that email to the speaker and continued to do it in the media, in his media appearances, I think it's just bad in the way he is taking this. And in addition to that, it shows the level of leadership he has, as opposed to our leader, our prime minister, who has led this country with dignity so far. And we continue to ensure that we can push forward. But the leader of the opposition needs to be called out, needs to be told that he is wrong, and he needs to admit that he is wrong and should apologize to the speaker.
Faber is yet to make an official comment on the ongoing matter. Deputy Prime Minister Honorable Cordell Hyde today spoke on the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, where the terrorist organization Hamas launched a surprise attack on Israel. Gunmen breached security barriers and over 2,000 missiles were launched from Gaza. Hours after the Palestinian attack, Israel's Air Force retaliated with air raids in Gaza. Hundreds of people have been killed in the war during the course of the past few days. The decades-old conflict has reached yet another breaking point, and the DPM says Belize feels for the innocent people being killed and hope that a peaceful resolution can be reached.
And it's really sad. It's really sad because for decades the developing world has been saying we need to end Israeli apartheid, and the developed world has just closed their eyes, their ears, everything to what's been going on there. And so now we have this where lots of people have died on both sides. A lot more will die, it seems. Like we were kind of hoping that there'll be a de-escalation at some point, but realistically speaking, I don't know that is going to happen anytime soon. So until that happens, you're talking about a lot of people being killed, a lot of innocent people, a lot of men, women, and children who just want to raise their children, who just want to have a piece of the earth that they believe is theirs to raise their families and to ensure that the generation that comes after does better than their generation. It's really sad, man, and I think the developed world, they've allowed us to reach this point. They've allowed us to reach this point, man.
So where does our state stand, though? Because from the tweet from the foreign minister, it seems that we are on the side of Palestine as the victims of an extremely long-term systemic subjugation. How do you all see it from the state's perspective?
Well, that has always been our position. We've always, every year in United Nations, voiced our support for the Palestinians' right to self-determination. We've always supported their cause. We've always called for the end to Israeli apartheid. But where we are right now is it's really bad, man. It's really bad, and I can't begin to imagine what's going on there. Like I try to imagine what it's like to be a citizen there, to have to grapple with that in 2023. Like, you keep praying that as we grow older as a world, we get more mature and seeing his prevail. But clearly it's getting worse. Clearly the world is imploding. And it's just tragic, man. We shed tears for all those folks out there.
Word spread in a split of a second this afternoon when a fire erupted from inside the library of the Corozal Church of Christ Primary School. CTV3 News understands the inferno started around 3 p.m. Amateur video caught the incident. This mobile phone video registers the black smoke emanating from the second floor of the school's building. Luckily, firefighters managed to contain the situation in time before the fire spread. No one was seriously injured, and the school only suffered minor damage to property. Coming up next, a multi-purpose complex building for the community of Libertad in Corozal. Stay tuned.
Tell me something. You can go anywhere. Another timeline. Another universe. So why do you want to stay and fight to save this one?
Because this is the world where my mom lives. I'm not gonna lose her again.
Time has a pattern that it can't help reliving. Different people, different worlds, drawn to each other like magnets.
It's my face. You stole my face.
If you were to go into the past, you have no idea what the consequences can be.
Bruce, I could fix things.
You could also destroy everything.
This can't be happening. I completely broke the universe.
Zod, we've been waiting for you.
I created a world with no metahumans. And now there's no one to defend us.
Want some help?
Oh. You are?
Yeah. I'm Batman.
If I can't undo what I did, if I can't get back, there might not be a future.
What's the play? Batman, what do we do?
We try not to die.
It's not Clark.
My name is Kara.
I'm Barry. We're Barry.
Barry, what are you doing?
Our kids are gonna want to see this.
Come on, let's go! We gotta catch up with Scooby-Doo!
In the middle of nowhere, Scooby-Doo found a little courage.
That's me!
It's my friends. Oh! And a lot of adventure.
Like, man, this place is totally freaky. Why is the water dripping upward?
Now,
If you're in a situation, I've never seen cicadas that big before. More weird and creepy, mysterious stuff happens in nowhere than anywhere else in the world.
it's on our flag.
Getting scared, then welcome to the town that isn't there.
Enjoy.
Yes, there's nowhere to run. The insects grow to crazy sizes here.
Where creepy is a compliment, bananas is a verb. Bravery, I'm confident, is still a dirty word.
And nowhere to hide.
Gesundheit!
Oh, thank you.
If you're falling down a rabbit hole, the only way is up. So laugh and
Straight out of nowhere, Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Woohoo! Jackpot! Watch the masters at work.
Needs more mustard. Excuse me, must have been something I ate.
Look for it on digital and DVD.
Acute gastroenteritis is a common infectious disease syndrome causing a combination of nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Here in Belize, a significant number of persons have become infected with acute gastroenteritis over the past few weeks. When the media spoke to Dr. Melissa Diaz-Musa last week, she told reporters the ministry, which is monitoring the cases being reported, has come to the conclusion that acute gastroenteritis, called AGE, is currently trending above its seasonal mark. Today, Minister of Health and Wellness, Honorable Kevin Bernard, confirmed that the ministry continues to monitor the increase in cases.
We are very much concerned about the number of persons affected by this issue, and we know that it's all across the country. And so we just want to ensure that people are reporting these issues, seeking medical attention where necessary. And of course, to our unit, every week I get a report of trends that is happening within the health system, within the population. And so very much so, but let me also reiterate the fact that the Ministry of Health and of our team is very much engaged and to ensure that we could pick up on these issues and address these issues and try to mitigate any further incidences.
The Libertad Village Council has long been lobbying for assistance from the government of Belize in order to erect a multi-purpose complex after its community center began deteriorating over the years. It appears that under the Bressani administration, their cry has now been heard. Today, chairman of the village, Arian Suazo, spoke about the $165,000 project that is in its initial stage. Upon completion, the multi-purpose complex will cater to a variety of disciplines and events for the residents of Libertad.
It's a long-awaiting project. It's a multi-purpose complex sponsored by Honorable Ramiro Ramirez, here representative of Corozal Southwest. What else should I say? Actually, due to the fact of our dilapidated community center, it's a long-awaited project. Our multi-purpose complex where we are used for sporting activities, school children, everything, all in one. That we are be used for.
The long-awaited complex will be located opposite of the existing community center in the heart of the village. Once construction is completed, Suazo says it will be the responsibility of all residents to preserve the facility.
We usually host activities like Mother's Day program. We have Christmas parade and Christmas program for the kids, meetings, and we don't have like a proper place to host those events or activities, right? So the main purpose of it is to host those events. 21st just gone, and we don't even have a shed over that. We don't have nothing for like host the kids there. We got 3 schools. I believe that'll be the perfect thing for host those events. Mother's Day event, children's rally. After the parade and everything, everybody go there, and then we have that function, that multi-purpose complex. We'll try to equip it with bathroom for the use of the people and so forth. The council always behind me. It costs roughly about $165,000 roughly, but Honorable Ramiro could give a more correct figure on it. It means a lot for us. Actually, it's a project that we have been looking at from the get-go. From we started, that was what we wanted. That was something we want for our community. We don't have a place to host the event. Our community center vandalized and all of that. That would be that's the best. I believe that's the best thing we are doing right now. It's for us. Take care of it, man. We'll make the best of it. I would like the whole community come enjoy it. Make the best of it. use it for sports. Any event you want to host, it's open for the community. I mean, make the best of it, man. It's a one-of-a-kind project, and let's make use of it.
The project has employed a number of residents from Libertad village. Educator Axel Rodriguez, a resident of Calcutta village in the Corozal district, remains admitted at the Hospital General de Chetumal. 1 year ago, Axel was diagnosed with autoimmune hemolytic anemia, and over the last 6 weeks, he had to seek medical assistance, during which time he contracted a respiratory disease that was compounded by a kidney problem. As Rodriguez fights to go back home, medical bills are mounting. As much as fundraisers take place, the finances deplete. But there is hope. The Calcutta Seventh-day Adventist Church is organizing a fundraiser to assist Axel with his outstanding bills.
We are making a grand concert. We have invited 10 churches of the zone, of the of the area of Pastor Haido Gutierrez. He is the pastor of our churches, and so we have invited all these churches, and we have singers from every church. And this at least 2 singers who will perform at that day, which will be the 14th at 3 p.m. at Calcutta Seventh-day Adventist Church. We will start at 3 p.m. and we would like to have this concert to fundraise for Axel Rodriguez, because right now he's hospitalized. He has been there for the past month, almost and a half, going for a month and a half that he's been hospitalized, and he has a lot of medical expenses.
The organizers are hoping to raise some $5,000 or more, and is counting on the public's assistance to reach the target.
We are targeting $5,000, but if we can raise more, the better it will be, because right now Axel has a great amount of money that the family owes at the hospital. So we're targeting $5,000. We don't know how much we will collect, but if there are people who are very kind, generous, that would like to donate, they can contact me at 632-7290, or Zaida Rodriguez, our sister, or they can take it at the church where we are having a concert. We will have somebody there waiting, and they can put in the envelopes and hand it in there. And as we go having the concert, we'll be counting the money and presenting it to see how much we are getting, if we are reaching our amount that we have targeted. So that is the way how we're going to do it. And people can go and donate there. And if they can't go that day, they still can donate, because we also have the church bank account. I will send it to Mr. Cornejo so he can pass it in the news, where you can donate also there for Axel.
Will tickets be on sale, and what about food?
Oh yes, after the concert, we'll have a grand social activity where the churches will stay, and all the youths and whosoever feel young there, they can, we have games and we have food to sell to help put up this money that we are targeting.
We also spoke to Axel's sister, who has been the family spokesperson from the onset. Presently, he needs 5 bags of blood in order to be transported from Chetumal to Mexico City for further medical assistance. She told us what her younger sibling's health status is at this time.
Axel, gracias a Dios, está fuera de terapia intensiva. Durante el fin de semana todo estuvo normal. Riñones, plaquetas, sangre, todo se había normalizado. Le habían dado la noticia de que su pie al igual está mejorando y de que sería simplemente una reconstrucción que le harían en su pie. Desafortunadamente, lo que ha sido ayer a hoy, está teniendo problemas en su estómago, en su intestino, y tiene su estómago soplado, le está causando fiebre y dolor en estos momentos. Es como él se encuentra. Su viaje a México está programado ya para el domingo. Ya mis papás han firmado los papeles. Simplemente están tratando de normalizar lo de su estómago para que el domingo él pueda viajar durante todo el día para llegar a México el lunes porque su cirugía está programada para el lunes. No, esa es la noticia que le habían dado, de que lo tenía alegre, de que gracias a Dios no se lo van a amputar, simplemente le van a hacer una reconstrucción debido a que tiene ciertos pedazos de su pie mal, entonces solo le van a hacer como una reconstrucción, pero ya no se lo van a amputar. Esa fue la noticia que le dieron el domingo. De hecho, él se encontraba feliz debido a esa noticia, pero ayer a hoy, pues su ánimo ha decaído debido a cómo se está sintiendo ahorita, porque ya se está sintiendo cansado, ya le estamos rogando a Dios de que pues le dé fuerzas y ánimos para que él pueda seguir adelante, porque pues ahorita es cuando más él necesita estar fuerte.
Those wishing to donate blood or a financial contribution can call Zaida Rodriguez at telephone number 604-7787. Direct deposits can be made to Belize bank account number 109-500-101-20001, registered under Calcutta Seventh-day Adventist Church. The Belize Electricity Limited BEL continues to manage the impact of unusually high temperatures and dry weather conditions that is driving up energy demands. BEL notes that during these hot days, power demand has exceeded expectations, recording above 12% higher than was projected for the period of October. This is largely due to an unprecedented heat wave rolling over the country over the next few days. In fact, high temperatures for October 12, 2023 are expected to reach a maximum of 103 degrees inland and 94 degrees in the coast. These conditions are expected to continue until Saturday, October 14, 2023, which will continue to drive high demands of electricity countrywide. The situation is exacerbated by generation constraints. Unusually dry weather conditions during this rainy season limits generation capacity of in-country hydroelectric facilities in Belize. Added to this, we are currently experiencing fuel shortages for the Bacool power plant located in southern Belize due to supply chain issues prompted by the political instability in Guatemala from where the fuel is sourced, BEL noted. BEL reassured customers that they are working with bulk power producers to meet the unprecedented increase in power demand. During this time, customers may experience periodic interruptions in their electricity service, especially if the high levels of electricity usage persist. We therefore ask customers to assist us by practicing energy conservation where possible, in order to alleviate excess demand for electricity, BEL added. BEL says that it continues to implement its longer-term plan to bolster system capacity and reliability and build a modern energy services infrastructure by increasing in-country renewable energy generation, deploying battery storage solutions in strategic locations throughout the country, installing new transmission and substations, and modernizing our distribution network. Cabinet met on Tuesday and received an update on the current situation in Haiti and agreed to deploy members of the Belize Defense Force as a part of the Multinational Security Support Mission MSSM, subject to satisfactory arrangements being put in place. Cabinet decided that the Office of the Prime Minister, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the Ministry of National Defense and Border Security should remain fully engaged with international partners on the developments in Haiti and the deployment of the MSSM. Cabinet also gave its approval for amendments to be introduced at the next sitting of the House of Representatives to the Economic Citizenship Abolition of Rights Bill to prohibit any person from relying on an economic citizenship relationship to obtain Belizean nationality. Cabinet also approved tabling the Belizean Nationality Amendment Bill in the House. The bill would add a residency requirement for minors born to parents who are not Belizeans, but who subsequently became Belizeans through marriage and wish to pass the nationality to their children, and amendments to the Fiscal Incentives Act to update the definition of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises (MSME) in Belize to make it more consistent with the World Bank MSME definition. During the meeting, Cabinet welcomed the update from the Minister of Education, Culture, Science, and Technology on the Connect program to provide Wi-Fi in schools and the distribution of over 5,000 digital devices donated by Taiwan for schools in all districts across the nation. The green light was also given for amendments to the Ombudsman Act to strengthen the Office of the Ombudsman to receive and address human rights complaints. The office will be required to ensure the promotion and protection of human rights while simultaneously turning international human rights obligations into meaningful action at the national level. Cabinet gave its approval for Belize to sign the Santiago Declaration to establish a regional council on the implementation of recommendations on ethics of artificial intelligence (AI) to promote the design, development, deployment, and acquisition of AI systems that respect human rights and dignity, gender equality, and fundamental freedoms, and supported a resolution that will be introduced at the 11th Ministerial Meeting of Ministers of Caribbean States responsible for intellectual property for Caribbean countries to strengthen cooperation and the use of intellectual property. The fishing capital of Belize is set to be ignited this coming Saturday, and everyone is invited to be part of the Family Fun-Filled Day. On Saturday, October 14, 2023, Sarteneja will be celebrating its Sarteneja Seafood Festival. This is the second time such an event will take place. According to J. Mayel Verde, the village council thought it to be the right thing to do in order to recognize the 2,500 fishers around the country, and more so those from Sarteneja.
As part of the village council, we are responsible for the celebrations, and festivities going on in our community. So, we have this mega event for every Easter, which is the Sarteneja Easter Regatta. But during the open season for lobster and conchs, we are known as the largest fishing community here in Belize. So one day in those conversations, talking with friends and colleagues, we started to talk about these festivities that are going all around, in San Pedro, Kikacar, Plasencia, and so on. They have their lobster fest, their conch fest, and so on. So we said, why not do something to honor our fishers, our hardworking fishers in the, here at Sarteneja, which is the largest fishing community in Belize. So, but we wanted to be authentic. Talking about it, we come out with this name for our festival, which is now second year that we are celebrating the Sarteneja Seafood Festival. We did it last year, but we are hoping that we have reached more people this year, because we are planning for this to be on the records and in the history of our community for this festival to proceed for years to come.
The event will include all sorts of booths, games, giveaways, and more. Juan Guerrero detailed why all roads should lead to Sarteneja on Saturday.
It's gonna start at 9 o'clock a.m. where we're gonna have the annular solar eclipse. So if you want a place to come and see that eclipse, well, you are all invited to come here in Sarteneja. We will also have like musical entertainment. In the morning, we'll have DJ Magic, DJ Terry, local DJs, DJ Warrior, myself, DJing in the morning. We'll have lots of booths and young entrepreneurs that will be bringing out their booths. And well, the whole idea of this is promoting the seafood and where else to get better seafood from the wives of the fishermen themselves. So we're gonna have the wives of the fishermen, the Sarteneja women's group doing seafood, doing fish empanadas, doing ceviche, doing lots of local marine seafood cuisines. So if you wanna try it, you can come here. We're all invited. We're gonna have cultural presentations. We're gonna have competition, the biggest lobster, biggest fish, biggest conch. We're gonna have a swimming race, a canoe race. So it's gonna be a day full of events, full of games, competition. So inviting all those people that want to come and enjoy themselves, they can come here to the Sarteneja Seafood Festival. And winding down to the night, we're gonna have this mega dance performances by Bemeti Cultural Band, performances by Continental Cat, by Miss Lisette Alamina, DJ Benz, and also myself, locally known as DJ Warrior too. So it's gonna be a night of events, of fun, of entertainment. So I'm inviting everybody to come. We're gonna have lots of booths locally and from different parts in the country. All of them are coming here. So Sarteneja is the place to be. All roads leads to Sarteneja, the fishing capital of Belize.
And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, October 13th here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.